everyone, welcome back to Perky Penny Paper Art's August Card-A-Palooza celebration. To celebrate my birthday and thank you all for subscribing, I'll be having a giveaway. The grand prize will be this beautiful and brand new Altenew Floral Alphabet Stamp and Die set. I fell in love with this set the minute I saw it and purchased 2 sets so I could gift one to a lucky subscriber. To enter, subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my August videos, and then watch and comment. 1 comment equals 1 entry, 1 comment per video uploaded in August. It's that simple. Check out the link in the description below for more information. Be sure to subscribe and comment on parts 1, 2, and 3 for more chances to win. Today's video is all about taking older techniques and giving them a modern twist. We are going to start off with this tried and true shaving cream technique. Back in the day, and I've actually seen it in a few videos recently, shaving cream was mixed with food coloring or re-inkers to create patterned papers. The liquid would suspend throughout the cream in such a way that when a piece of cardstock is applied to the top of it and then removed and wiped off, the result would be a stunning marble-looking paper. I recently got some of the shimmer powders from Nuvo and thought it would be fun to see how these reacted with the shaving cream. I got a paper plate and filled it with some shaving cream. In this instance, I used quite a lot, but you don't necessarily have to. I then took my spatula and spread it out evenly over the plate. I took the blue BLITZ Nuvo shimmer powder and lightly tapped the end of the powder to distribute it over the shaving cream. Do not squeeze the bottle. You'll have more powder than you could use in a lifetime for this specific project. A very light tap is all you need. It really doesn't take very much to make a huge impact. I'm going to start off by just using this one color. To create the marble look, I take a kitchen skewer and mix the powder in with the shaving cream with swirling motions. I was careful not to mix too much to start with. I started by doing as little as possible because I can mix it more next time, but it is impossible to go backwards and mix less. You'd have to really start over. Once I've mixed the color to my liking, I take a piece of white cardstock and press it into my shaving cream. I then remove it and lay it flat on my glass mat. There are several different ways to remove the foam. You could just use a paper towel and wipe it off. Unfortunately, this would make it unusable in the future. Another way would be to use an old hotel room key or credit card. I prefer to use this plastic putty knife from Lowe's. Any of these last methods, you can actually take the shaving cream and put it back on the plate to use next time. I carefully scrape across the paper to reveal my pattern. This never gets old. You saw that I put down a large amount of shaving cream. While I'm working with this technique today, I'll be creating many different papers. I'll start with one color, then I'll scrape off the excess, put it back on the plate, flatten it out, and press in another piece of paper. Each and every time I do this, I'll get something completely different. The results are fantastic. Pigment powders like these Nuvo shimmer powders and Color Burst aren't just one color. Several colors of powder are added to the mix to create the solid color once water has been added. Check out how this steps the shaving cream technique up a notch. Now let's try that again. This time though, I'll take the used shaving cream from the first piece and mix it in with the other shaving cream. Without adding any more color, I press in another piece of cardstock. And check it out, the Nuvo shimmer powder version of Van Gogh's Starry Nights. Let's do one more for this video so you can see what happens when I add another color. I have smoothed out my pile of existing and used shaving cream again, and now I'm going to add a little bit of the Green Parade shimmer powder. I will again take the kitchen skewer to create some swirls, and when I'm ready, push in my piece of cardstock. I love how all the little specks of powder create these beautiful swirls on the cardstock. I kept going and going with this until the shaving cream was a mess and no more pretty papers would come of it today. I will be sharing more in my next couple of videos as well. But now it's time to create some cards by combining these fun papers I made and the paper from the August 2018 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. This first card will be a new take on the sunburst technique. I took a variety of my papers, including one of the pattern papers, a piece of my shaving cream paper that coordinates with it, some of the Tonic powder blue lace embossed cardstock, and some of the pink cardstock from the kit that I stamped with the background stamp that was also included in the kit, and cut them into strips that ranged from 1 3/4 to 2 inches wide by 4 inches long. I then took these strips and cut them on the diagonal, which gave me 2 triangles per strip. After I determined a layout with my triangles, I took an A2 size panel of white cardstock and marked the center with my pencil. This is the starting point for the placement of my triangles. I followed my layout and adhered each piece with my dotted tape runner so I would be able to reposition the pieces as needed. Everything was going fine until the symmetry was threatened by these last 3 pieces. I decided to place the centerpiece, leaving equal spaces on either side. I marked and trimmed a triangle for each of those spots and glued them in place. After all the pieces were attached to the cardstock, I trimmed off all of the edges. Typically, a card is then made from this created panel as a rectangle, but I decided to use my oval die to cut a portion of an oval to decorate the front of my card. I had an extra triangle in the blue lace paper and attached that to the folded side of my card front. Then I glued the sunburst to the front, lined up with the edge of the triangle. To add some detail, I added a strip of gold between the 2 front focal points, and then I heat embossed and die cut the thank you sentiment in gold. To set the sentiment off, I die cut a piece of shiny gold cardstock to add under the sentiment for some additional shine and definition. This next card demonstrates the herringbone technique with a little twist. I selected 2 of my shaving cream papers, a piece of the pattern paper that coordinates beautifully with the shaving cream papers, and the beautiful Tonic blue lace embossed paper again. The pattern of this card consists of strips of pattern paper, which makes it great for getting rid of card scraps. You can vary the width of the strips or have them all the same. For this card, I cut some of the papers I picked into 1/4 inch strips and some into 1/2 inch strips. This time I decided to run the A2 card panel through my large Xyron. I was taking a chance because the Xyron adhesive is not very forgiving. If it worked though, this would make for a quick and easy card design. I start off with 3 strips of the same paper and position one across the short side of the paper towards the center. And then I take the other 2 strips and place them on either side of the center strip so they intersect with it. I take 4 strips of the next paper and line them up alongside of the strips I just placed and repeat the process until all space is filled. Any extra strips can be set aside for future cards. To finish the panel, I trimmed the edges so I'm left with an A2 size panel. The way I decided to change this up was to cut this panel in half to place on the front of a modern-looking easel card. I stamped and colored a flower image from the card kit in colors that coordinated with the papers, and then attached that to the right side of my herringbone piece. The idea being that once the card is opened and propped up, the flowers will be standing up next to this decorated piece. I positioned this piece on the right side of the card front and then drew a line on the diagonal side. I cut off the left side of my card front and folded the right side to create my easel. I then attached the left side of the panel to the exposed inside of the card and the right side to the bottom half of my easel. I took one of the extra strips and stamped one of the typed sentiments on it in navy ink from Hero Arts, and then trimmed each of the ends at a diagonal to continue with the modern look. I popped it up on the inside of the card with some foam tape, which created a place for the easel to sit when it is open. This is another shaving cream paper that I created using the Nuvo Shimmer powder in Cherry Bomb and Solar Flare. The touch of yellow was perfect to pair with this beautiful bird bokeh-like paper from the kit. I framed the marble-esque panel with pink cardstock from the kit and gold mirror paper, and added some dimension with a piece of fun foam behind this framed piece. I kind of think it looks like a work of art hanging on the wall. I stamped a sentiment and added a vase of pretty yellow tulips, and my cards for this video are done. I have one more video in this series that I look forward to sharing with you in a few days. I received the dies from the kit and will share some unexpected ways to use them. For more information, please visit my blog at www.perkypennypapers.com and follow my Instagram at perkypennypapers. If you enjoy this video, please like it and share it, and subscribe to my channel to see when new videos are uploaded. A list of supplies is available in the description of this video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today.